Hi Flosstube, it's Rosbelle. If you would like, you can just call me Ross or Emily. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, even more of a welcome. I've been gone for about 2 years. My bad. Can't really tell you what happened. Don't know. Lost track of time. Forgot it. I had a Flosstube for a while. But I'm back, hopefully to stay. We'll see. And I have some fun things to show you and some oops, I forgot that project existed things to show you. I will start with some of the finishes of projects that you guys have seen. I think one project that you guys haven't seen, but it's a small little bookmark. It's not a big deal. And then after I get through the finishes, I will start showing on my current WIPs and going over the current stitch mount that they have, the current stitch count that they have, the current progress percent that they're at, and the hopeful percentage that I will get them to at the end of the year. Some of my goals are a little crazy, but I'm hoping that with me keeping track of things more clearly this year, that it'll be a little easier to keep track of what needs done and everything in my head. I will show here a little preview of the project tracker that I set up for 2025. It has monthly overviews of every project that I have, and every project that I worked on for that month, the total stitch count I did for it, the days that I stitched on it. And then at the very bottom right corner, it'll have like total stitches for that entire month. And I just have that for every month of the year. And then at the end of it, I have a yearly overview, which will show me which projects I worked on for the year, how many stitches I got into them, and I'll keep a list of anything that I've finished throughout the year. I have a few goals where I want to get them finished. I think it's like 10 projects or something, but they're all relatively small, and then I think only 2 of them are full coverage. One of them I'm sure I'll get, the other one more of a hopeful thing. So yeah, I'll get into the finishes and then we'll start talking about WIPs. These finishes aren't really any major order, they're just how I picked them out of the bag. I have a bag that my sister crocheted me that I just keep all of my current finishes stuffed in. I brought everything that I've finished since I've been gone. It's not a lot, but it's more than I normally do. So that felt good to me. I'll kind of go in order of things that I think you guys are aware of, but mostly it's just whatever I pulled out. So I will start with Floral Dreams from Barbara Anna Designs, and I'm not going to flip you guys around like I normally do. I'm going to try and do it this way, but I'm still new at it and I'm super out of practice, so forgive me for any poor lighting or anything. I'll include pictures of every finish here just that way you can get better views of them in case it looks a little wonky as I'm filming. So sorry in advance. Floral Dreams from Barbara Anna Designs. I finished this at probably just a few weeks after I last filmed my Flosstube from January 2023. And yeah, I still need to send it to my friend. I keep forgetting. That will be on my to-do list in the next week or 2. But yeah, she's beautiful. She's got some metallics in her. It was probably the first time I'd ever worked with metallics. You could see it like in the shimmery gold and the sun and stuff and around the cat's collar. I think it was Petite Treasure Braid that I used. I think I have a weird minor allergy to the metallics and threads and stuff because quick side tangent, I'm getting married. I got engaged last year. My wedding's this fall. I was trying on dresses not this weekend, the weekend before, and some of the dress material, like the metallic threaded and stuff, sort of set off my allergies like that did, so I haven't been tested for it. I've been tested for some allergies now. But anyway, my mild allergy, whatever, doesn't matter. The next finish that I have is Dear Girl with Coffee from Cute Patterns by Maria. Pretty sure I'll have the information on the screen too. and she is so cute. She came out so adorable. I love the way she looks. There's supposed to be some French knots in the word coffee here, and then in the owl and the drink, but I didn't bother. I thought it looked cute enough without it, and I did the French knots in her eyes, and I felt that was good enough. That was enough for me. But yeah, and I'll have like the last time that you saw it as well, so that way we'll just have a comparison, like the last time I showed it in a video and it finished, and then I'll have a picture of the finish too, so that way if it looks too bad on here, you'll be able to see what it looks like. I also have a Q-snap here just to help show things with like super flimsy fabric or it'd be really hard. This is Dinosaur Forest from Owl Forest Embroidery. It was their kit with their floss and their fabric and everything. Oh, it's so cute. It is so, so cute. I love all the little dinosaurs. I think this little guy, where is he? In the egg right there, I think he's my favorite. The pterodactyl and the volcano. I don't know a thing about dinosaurs, but if this isn't just the most cutest thing. And I have 2 more kits from them that I'm really excited to get started, because I forgot how adorable this was until I just pulled it out and I was like, dang, I need to start those other 2 kits. So maybe I'll start one of those this year, if I get enough finishes done to make it worth it. And I'm just gonna take this off the Q-snap because I'm sure I'll have to use it for some other projects later to show off. If I do have to use the Q-snap, I will cut that bit out so that way you don't have to watch me struggle to get it on there. This next one is one you guys haven't seen before. It was just a quick little bookmark. The fabric I have it on is huge, but that's because I have a lot of other like bookmark patterns that I have. I don't remember what this is called, and last I checked, the Etsy shop that I got this from discontinued it. You can't get it anymore. But it has a companion piece for like a Japanese pink dragon here. I'm gonna stitch it with it, and then like the fabric's huge. So I'll stitch quite a few bookmarks on this. That's backwards. I'll stitch quite a few bookmarks on this, and then once I'm done, I'll cut them all out and make them into little bookmarks for me and my sisters and my friends. But yeah, the next one, and reminder, I haven't washed or ironed any of these, so I'm sorry. The next one is, I want to say it's Starry Night Sky by Stitchrovia. This one's for my nephew. I still have to, you know, frame it and everything, but it's done stitching, so now I can finally give it to him. For those that don't remember or weren't here for it in my last WIP parade, it was meant for his mother, for my sister, for him being born. He is now turning 7 this year, but in November, so you know, I got some time to frame it. This next one is Pretty Little Dublin from Satsuma Street. I finished it this past year in 2024 for the same sister for her anniversary, her wedding anniversary, and showed it to her, brought it to her in person, said, here you go, I'll go frame it for you. That was July. I just need to make a to-do list and then do it, but we'll see. And then I have one more finish. It's probably one that you guys have been looking forward to. It's one of my favorite finishes. Definitely my favorite finish. I got it done in October of 2023. I think it was like the 20th or something. I was at the ER with my fiance and we were just hanging out, and I got Gamer Nouveau done. Here she is in all of her glory. Of course, still unwashed because you can see the lines in the fabric. But yeah, I'm gonna try and show you some. I'm so excited that she's finished. I meant to go get her professionally framed for this past Christmas, 2024, from my fiance as a gift, but weather and busyness, I just wasn't able to get out to a shop to get it framed. But that's one of my goals this year, is to get her framed too. I want to get her professionally framed because she deserves it. But yeah, there you go. So excited. So yeah, that was all my finishes. I no longer have the leftover threads and pattern for her anymore. I sent her out to one of my friends now. It is, I believe her handle is either cross stitch with Jess or cross stitch by Jess. I'll have it right here, and I will link her own Flosstube here in the description. You should go check her out. She makes amazing videos. I love all of her projects. I think I don't remember if it was November or December, she finished this amazing beaded piece. It was like she did the whole cross stitch project in nothing but beads. It was beautiful. I think, you know, she's ahead of the game on me. She actually got hers framed already. But it's beautiful and fantastic, and the work on it's amazing. And she has a lot of other great projects. She's actually stitching on Gamer Nouveau now. She makes a lot of updates on Instagram, so I'll link that below too. And a lot of other beautiful full coverage, and I believe a few sampler pieces, like the smaller ones, like Plum Street sampler sized. But yeah, that was all my finishes. And now I'm gonna move on to my WIPs. I have them in, I believe, alphabetical order. I attempted alphabetical order anyway. And as I go along, I'm gonna be putting them back into their project bags, just so that way I don't get things mixed up. For the most part, they have other materials in them that would tell me that's the bag, but I don't wanna, it's just easier for me to organize as I go. I will give a crinkle warning ahead of time, because some of these are in plastic bags, but I will do my best to remember to not zip as I put them in. I'm just gonna put them in and I'll zip them all up afterwards. So with that said, let's get started. The first project that I have is 2007 RuneScape skills. This is what it looked like the last time you guys saw it, and here it is now. We're getting there. We're really close. I'm almost completely caught up on skills. I think there's two that I still need to do. One of them is agility here, and I think the other one is smithing, which I think is over here, but I'll double check. He's only got 4 or 5 skills left to go, and then down here in the bottom will be just a big black square that says like total 2,700, whatever. That's like the total amount of points in each skill. So yeah, those are the ones that I have done. It's health, strength, herb lore, fishing, range, thieving, cooking, prayer, crafting, fire making, magic, fletching, woodcutting, farming, and then construction. There you go. I remembered. So yeah, it's a great time. I'm still kind of editing the colors as I go and everything, but otherwise, if any of you have, like yourself or a partner that's into RuneScape and they're also trying to max out a character, or they already maxed out a character and you want to stitch this, just send me a message here, leave a comment, send me an email. I'll put an email here that you guys can email at, or send me a message on Instagram. I'll have that linked below too, and I'll just email you the pattern. I have it, it's available. It's not gonna cost you anything if you want it. So yeah, right, back in its bag. I already forgot. Okay, so the next project is Almathea, artwork by Leilani Joy, designer is Gecko Rouge. Here is what it looked like the last time you guys saw it, and here it is now. Her face looks so pretty. I still have my little narwhal done. But I have been filling out from the top right corner. I've been doing what I did with Gamer Nouveau, where I've been picking a color, stitching it in the Q-snap area that I have it in, and then just going 1 through however many colors there are and doing that. It's gotten me a lot of her face filled in already. You can still see some holes and stuff where I haven't filled it in just yet. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. Oh, I have stats for you guys. I completely forgot. I'm so sorry. I'm all over the place. For 2007 RuneScape, I am currently at 39,291 stitches. It's at 73.77%, and my goal for this year is to finish it. So, my fiance only has a couple more skills to go. I'm going to catch up on the 2 that I'm missing, and then I will stitch as he goes. A lot of the skills that he has left, he can do at the same time. Like, he's doing mining and rune crafting right now. That's a twofer. And then Slayer, defense, attack, things like that, he can get all in one go. So, yeah, we'll keep up with that. For Amathea, she is at 17,000 stitches done, 25.03% total, and then my goal for her is 50%. Like I said, some of these goals are completely unrealistic. I don't anticipate getting them all done, but I'm hoping that I can reach the ones that I set. I set them, I've been keeping track of the stitches I've done this month already, even though I've missed a few days. I've missed like 4 days this month already, which is not a big deal because I've gone months without stitching before, so missing a few days isn't a big deal to me. So I'm hoping, considering the pace that I've kept and the goals that I have, that I'm not doing anything too heinous that would cause me to you know, not finish any of them. I'm hoping that they're good enough goals that I can have them done. Okay, the next one I have is Banjo-Kazooie All-Stars. The artwork is by John Davies. The pattern is designed by myself. Here's where it was the last time you guys saw it, and here it is now, and I'm apologizing in advance for all of the crazy threads everywhere. I've kind of diverted a little bit in how I'm handling this pattern. I decided that since all of the fun stuff is going to happen in the middle, that I want to take out a lot of the like block background by doing the like 30 stitches in around the whole perimeter of the pattern. So I'm gonna go around the whole thing doing like the 30 stitches inwards, and then hopefully by the time all of that's done, all of the fun stuff will be left in the middle. And then I won't have, you know, just the bottom of like 3808 and 3809 filling in that I have to do. But I only decided that after I was straying around like I normally do. My cross country typical. So that's why there's a ton of parked threads everywhere. For Banjo-Kazooie All-Stars, he is currently at 10,000 stitches, which is 13.02%. And then my goal is to get it to 30% this year. Yeah. Even though I did design the pattern myself like I did for RuneScape, I will not be sharing this pattern. John Davies, he's also known as John Tendo on some of his social media, he has not given me permission to sell that pattern, and I do not plan on just giving it away. So if you want to stitch that yourself, you're gonna have to contact him and make your own pattern. So good luck. Okay, I need a drink. I haven't talked this much in one go in a long time. So the next one that I have is Bear of Peace. The artist is Christy Grandjean. The pattern is from Hade. Here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. And here it is now. I did end up restarting it like I had talked about in my last Flosstube. It is now on 28 count mushroom Lugana, I think. And I like it way better on this. It is currently at 1,500 stitches, and that is 0.57%. My goal for this year is to get it to 5% done. I'm not sure if you can tell, but there's some metallic thread in there. Another petite treasure braid, rainbow. I don't remember. Hold on, I have it right here. Crinkle, sorry. Petite treasure braid in the color, forgive me. I don't know the color. It's petite treasure braid though. I am awful. I don't know what color this is. It doesn't say anywhere. Oh, there it is. PB10. It's just the recommended metallic thread that replaces Krynic's color that Hay normally recommends for their patterns whenever they do the sparkly thread. I think it's listed as like 032 on the pattern or whatever. Anyway. The next pattern is Be Mine Always. The artist is Adele Sessler, I think. I don't know. She has like two names on there. It's like Adele Lorian, Adele Sessler. I'm taking out the... That's what it looks like. That's what it looked like the last time you saw it. Here I am now. I'm taking out like the big chunks of like 3772 on the side because I'm also stitching this on like 28 count Lugana mushroom. And so my stats are a little different from the actual pattern itself. I'm at 1,500 stitches. And the percent is, because, you know, the stats are a little janky, it's about 1% of what's left. And I want to get it to 10% done, which, considering I took out a bunch of the pattern, shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, there's the woman's hair going down to her braid, and then some of the background that I decided to keep. Yeah. Okay, she'll go to the background. The next one is another Gecko Rouge. Here's what it looked like the last time you saw it, and here is what it looks like now. It is a black cat from Lorna Lane. This was a limited edition, so I'm not sure if it's still available, but if it is, on my Trello board, I always link to all of the patterns that I have, if they're still available, and if they're not, I'll list, you know, retired, or I'll list if it was limited edition or something like that. So I'm pretty sure this was limited edition. It is at 5,763 stitches, and it is 52.37% done. My goal for this year is to have it finished. It's pretty small. I think it's only like 11,000 stitches total, so getting this done should be super easy. It's just when it will be drawn out for finish. The next pattern I have, and I'm a little ashamed to show this one because I showed it in my WIP parade from 2022, and I went to go back to see when I last showed it to you guys, and that was also my WIP parade 2022, which normally isn't a big deal because some of these things like Dinosaur Forest and Pretty Little Dublin were also only shown in my 2022 WIP parade, and now they're finishes. This one was shown and hasn't been stitched on at all since. So since there's no difference, I'm not going to show you what it looked like last time because it looks identical to this. It is at 729 stitches, 0.32%. My goal for the year is to get it to 10%. And since this is the first Medusa doll maker I'm showing, I'm just going to explain a little bit. Medusa doll maker is retired from Gecko Rouge. She posts her own cross-stitch patterns in her shop. I think it's Folk Tales Market. I'll have it linked below. None of the Medusa doll maker patterns that I have are from that shop, so I can't verify how, like, the quality of them. I don't know if they're well made. I know that some other people have been testing them, so if I were you, I would go like on Instagram or even here on YouTube and search and see if anybody's stitching those versions of the patterns. But all the ones I have are from Gecko Rouge, and I got them before she retired. That's one of the reasons I sold my leftovers to Jess, because Medusa doll maker had been retired from Gecko Rouge. So, yeah. Great time. Anyway. Hopefully she'll see some progress. We will see though. This next one I think is gonna need to go on this Q snap so I can show it to you because it's really flimsy and it's a little scrunched. So just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. The next one is Chong Moon Goddess from Pen and Art Technologies. I think most of the patterns are out of print still, but I found mine on a Facebook group. It's called like, it's just like one of those groups that are like for searching for your like unicorn pattern, you know, things that you've been wanting, like dying to stitch, but you can't find it anywhere. So you're like reaching out to anybody who has it and willing to sell it. I got lucky, and the seller I got it from had a few of their patterns, and so I got all the ones that I liked. But this is Chong Moon Goddess. It is stitched on 36 count Stormy Linen from XJU Designs on Etsy. Ooh, that's showing really true to color, actually. Normally it shows up really gray, but this looks really good. She is at 5,610 stitches done at 10.07%, and my goal this year is to get her to 30% done. I got her face stitched in, and I got the back stitching on her eyes. It's a little hard to see some of the shading, but I'm sure in the grand scheme of things it won't matter too much. I've started more in her hair, and I've got this flower started here, and I'm just kind of all over the place. You can see her fan and her hands are done. The little rabbit got maybe a little bit of work, but I don't think it did, honestly. But yeah, I'm really happy. I really wanted her face done, so I went up there and stitched it. It looks pretty cute. Very pretty. I love stitching on this fabric. XJU Designs makes beautiful fabric. She has beautiful dyes. They're a dream to stitch on. A pleasure. a genuine pleasure to stitch on. So yeah, let me get her off this real quick and I'll move on to the next one. Alright, the next pattern that I have is another Gecko Rouge, another Medusa doll maker. It is Crystal Witch. This is what she looked like the last time you guys saw her. And this is what she looks like now. There's not a ton of difference. I think I mainly just got all of the like little park threads I had stitched in. I know I got more work here and a little bit up this way, I believe. And then I think I filled in some more here, like this purpley color that you can see I still have hanging. I didn't do a ton, but I did get her to 3,500 stitches at a 3.13%. My goal this year is to get her to 15%, and I'm gonna keep working in her face until I get that done. And then once I do, I'm gonna try and work my way up to a corner, so that way I can start, you know, working her in quadrants like I do my other pieces. Okay. The next project that I have is Dapper Dog. It is an old artiste kit that I got from Hobby Lobby because it was on clearance. And the design, I believe, is from Cooler Design Studios. I don't know if you can find this on their website. I kind of did a cursory glance a few weeks ago and I couldn't find anything. So if you can, good job. Here's where it was the last time you guys saw it, and here it is now. I'm pretty happy with the progress I've made, considering I did it in like 3 days. I still got a decent bit to go. But it is at 1,960 stitches done. It is at 10% even, and I want to get it finished this year. It is so small, it is so easy, considering how quickly this stitched up. I think I could easily get it done by the end of the year. It's just, I have to work on it. So yeah. Very pleased with myself on that one. Normally these, I realized a lot of these projects that hadn't been worked on in forever is because I didn't have them in Pattern Keeper, basically, was my only excuse. And so I went and digitized a lot of patterns that I had as paper patterns, just so that way I could work with them in Pattern Keeper and make it easier and for my brain and myself in general. And yeah, so the next one I have is Draw the Wing. It is the 2019 Sal from Stitchonomy, I believe it is. It hasn't moved, but I did get a Pattern Keeper version of it instead of just working on it, you know, through the PDFs. I want to take out this crossbow and move it over here like it is on Pattern Keeper. I initially did it the way like that because I was being stubborn and I was going, no, left to right, every square. And I could have gone away with that, but coming back to it a few years later, I think I would prefer it the way she designed it. It is currently, and I didn't count these stitches in Pattern Keeper because I'm going to take them out anyway. So it is currently at 1,110 stitches done. It is at 20.36% and it is marked as a finish for this year. What I want to do is I want to maybe do this for like spooky June or something. So pull it out in June and get it done so that way I can just have it ready to display in October. And because I know that people prefer to do seasonal stitching, but I would prefer to have something done for the season rather than working on it that season, if that makes any sense. The next one I have is another Gecko Rouge. It is Fairies by Anna Marine. This is what it looked like the last time you guys saw it. And here is what it looks like now. I brought this out a little further, I think. I've gone kind of all over the place. But she is sitting at 1,100 stitches at 0.88%. And my goal this year is to get her to 15%. Yeah, I don't know. The more I work on it, the more I realize that I like working on it. So hopefully with my goal this year, I will enjoy it more than I thought that I normally do. I don't know. There's a lot of things you have to understand about me. I'm very weird about some things, but a lot of my thought process behind stitching is if I don't like the pattern and if I don't enjoy stitching it, I'm not going to stitch it. I ain't got time for that. I got too many projects, too much stash. I'm not going to sit here and force myself to work through something I'm not having fun with or I don't enjoy. But some of these projects just sit for so long that I forget that I enjoy stitching on them, you know? If that makes any sense. The next one I have is from Flossie Fox Shop. She is on Etsy. I don't think I've ever shown you guys this project, but I did start it, I think, in 2022 or 2023. So here's the preview of it. It is called Farming Magic Sal, and this is where I'm at so far. I do have a few of these in Q-Snaps, but I promise anything I have in a Q-Snap that I'm not telling you I'm putting it on is because there's nothing for you to see aside from part threads. So I'm sure that I showed you the preview, but holy cannoli, it is so freaking cute. It just hits all of the things that tickle me. It's bright and colorful and saturated, and most importantly, it reminds me of farming games, which is one of my favorite genres, if not my favorite genre to stitch on ever. So I just love stitching it. It's so adorable. You can see the little chicken, the little chicks coming in, the sheep. That cow is just the cutest. We have to look at this cow. The pig is almost done. I think I just have to do the white stitches in here and the wings. There's some ducks up here that I'm stitching and a little goat that'll come in soon. But yeah, it's just so bright and colorful, and I just have so much fun stitching it. And some of it is kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get started on her patterns for me just because of the way I work. Like, I'm used to working full coverage where I'm going like the biggest color that's available in this area and then stitch it everywhere and then fill in from there. I can't really work her patterns like this at the start anyway. I have to sort of like pick a motif at a time to like focus on, and then once I get that and then I stitch in my leftover threads, I have enough down that I can go from like smallest or biggest color and jump around. So yeah, she will go there. I don't have a bag for her. Well, I do, but she's not in it right now. This next one is Feline Family. It is a, oh, I didn't tell you the stats for Farming Magic Sale. It is at 2,909 stitches. I'm currently working on it, and that's why it's in a frame. It is at 18.29% done, and my goal this year is to finish it, because I meant to finish it the same year I started it, and we see how that went. Okay. So this next one is Feline Family. It is from Riolis. I don't have a percentage because it's like the one thing that I didn't put into a digital pattern, because it was, I don't know, if you've ever worked a Riolis kit, you know how difficult they are. So here's where I'm at now. Oh, there's a little bit, there you go. You can see I've come down all these half stitches in the background. I'm currently working on the little seat in the first little kitten. Since I don't have a percentage to work off with this, I'm sort of just winging it. It comes on like this huge paper pattern, and so I've decided it's like split into 4 quadrants. So I've decided I'll do half of it, I'll do the 2 quadrants, and that'll be my goal for the year, and then I can finish it next year. So we'll see if I actually get to that. And I have a very specific needle I stitch on it with, because normally I use size 28 needles, but because I'm working on this yarn, this like acrylic yarn with Riolis, the size 28 needles are way too small for it. It can't fit the yarn, it just shreds it. So I have, this is like the one size 26 or 24 needle I have, or whatever, that fits it. Okay, the next one I have is Geisha. The artist is Delancey. It's from Haid. Here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. And here it is now. And I have to tell you guys that I'm pretty sure Delancey is retired from Haid, mainly because I could not find her anywhere on the site anymore. So if you really wanted to stitch these projects from Delancey, you're gonna have to see if she's signed with anyone else, or if anyone has a physical copy, because I'm 98% certain she's retired. But yeah, Geisha is at 10,734 stitches, and with the current percent 5.97, and I want to get her to 25% done. She's just one of those projects that I've wanted to get finished for a long time, but I just keep getting distracted. So I'm gonna push on her this year and see where it gets me. But yeah. Okay, the next one I have is another restart, like Bear of Peace was. And if you've seen my last WIP parade, you're gonna go, huh, that's funny, because you're about the reason why I restarted it. It is from Plum Street Samplers. It is A Gentleman's Daughter, and I started it on, I don't know what count this is, but well, I don't know what fabric this is, but it's 36 count. I'm doing it 2/2 with the called for Weeks Dye Works and Color and Cotton, I think it is, threads. And if you're thinking, or if you don't know why it's weird that I restarted it, it's because I got through like filling in the roof and the trees, some of the trees. I'll show where I left it off before I restarted it, because I got some more progress on it. I finished the roof and I started one of the trees, and I sat there and thinking, and I was like, this would be so much prettier in variegated thread. I mean, don't get me wrong, the DMC is plenty pretty on its own, but after I stitched Dinosaur Forest with Owl Forest embroideries, like hand-dyed threads, the variegated ones that they do, I was like, oh, this would just look so much more gorgeous with it. And so I bit the bullet, restarted it, and I did the middle start just to make life easy. And so it's completely, this is all I've done. On my restart, it is at 1,730 stitches at 15% done. My goal this year is to finish it. It took me like 2 days to get it to that, and I just really want to stitch it some more. And yeah, fun fact, the bag that I have it in was actually made for me by Jess. We did it sort of like a swap. She sent me a bag and a little Floss Notions bag to go with it. And so I've been keeping my restart of A Gentleman's Daughter in it. It is so, so cute. I love it. Even the inside has got cute little pink flowers. Oh, it's just so adorable. And I really love it. It's a great bag. She makes these herself. Again, go check her out. Link in the description. Her name was up there earlier. Okay, next one. It is the Great Wave. I cannot for the life of me at this moment remember what the artist name is, but I'll have it up here on screen. And here's where it was the last time you guys saw it. And here it is now. It is currently at 3,500 stitches of 50 Shades of Beige at 2.60%. I want to get it to 15% by the end of the year. This was an anniversary piece that I started for mine and my fiance's 10-year anniversary. And so, I think it would be fun if I could get it done by like our 15-year anniversary. Or I guess maybe our first wedding anniversary would be a better a better goal. We'll call it that for now. First wedding anniversary 2026. But I've gone, I think this is like a page and a half Gecko Rouge pages. And I think some of the waves will start around here or so. So hopefully I can get into some blues this year. We'll see. That would be nice. The next one I have is another Medusa doll maker, another Gecko Rouge. It is Herb Witch, and oh, there's a needle. This is what she looked like the last time you guys saw her, and here she is now. Ta-da! I've been filling in her hat a little bit, but I realized as I was like stitching the outline of her face and stuff, that she looked a little, like you can tell a little bit on the needle minder, if the ring light wasn't in the way. Like her face looks a little like rounder here, like it has a little more like closer to my face shape. But she looked like a little skinnier in her jawline here, and I got a little concerned that my fabric wasn't exactly square, and it still kind of isn't, but it's not so bad. And so I told myself, I said, I'm not gonna restart something that had like thousands of stitches in it unless it was gonna look bad. And so I started stitching her eye just to sort of check and make sure that everything was gonna come out well. And because that was the biggest thing, is I didn't want it to be so squished that like her eye looked weird. You know, like her facial features would look squished. But it looks pretty, it looks good. I'm not concerned about the shape of it anymore, and so I've been sort of just putting in those part stitches that came from trying to get the shape of her eye and stuff in. So she is at 6,477 stitches, at 5.99%, and my goal is to get her to 30% this year. This is another one that I haven't touched since the last time you guys saw it, which was my WIP Parade 2022. It is Helen Sophie. The artist is Dalen Ogden, and since it didn't change, here is where we're at. The total stitches done is 1,169. It is at 0.37%. My goal this year is to get it to 5%. And that seems pretty reasonable to me, considering that seems a pretty reasonable goal to me, considering it's like 300,000 stitches in total. So yeah, I feel like 5% on a project that hasn't seen any percent in 3 years is good. This next one I'm really excited to show you. It is In the Darkness Bear. It is from Scandy Girl on Gecko Rouge. Here's what it looked like the last time you guys saw it, and here it is now. I got all the black done finally. that was great. Ooh. That was a great time. And then since I got all the black done, I went up to the top of the pattern, and you can sort of see, like especially from the hanging threads, I've been going in and stitching the lowest amount of a color to the highest amount, and just like the top half of the pattern, sort of how I worked it when I was doing all the black. I did the top half and then I did the bottom half. So I'm doing that again for lowest to highest stitches. I'm doing all the stitches on the top half of the pattern, and then once the top half is completely done, I'll move to the bottom half. So yeah, it is at 25,155 stitches done. I at 44.60%. My goal this year is to get it to 75% done. And I would try and aim for a finish, but I just know with all of my other goals this year, that's not totally realistic. So I went with something that would see a lot of progress, but also be a little realistic. So, yeah, and I took that off this Q snap so I could use it. The next one is Lady, also by Delancey, from Heaven and Earth Designs. Here's where it was the last time you guys saw it, and here it is now. I did another, I think, 10 by 10 column here, and then I started going over like 10 by 20 or whatever it is. It is currently at 2,000 stitches at 1.05%. My goal this year is to get it to 10%. Also, if you notice some random cuts, it's because I had to sneeze. Sorry. Yeah, so Kathy Delancey, Little Red Dress. No, Lady. The next one is Little Red Dress that I'm about to show you. And now I get to put these away because I keep all like 4 of these in the same bag. So they're gonna go together now. The next one is Little Red Dress, also by Kathy Delancey. Here's where it was the last time you saw it. And here it is now. Oh, it's really hard. It's in person, you can see all the different shades of pink and stuff, but on this fabric, on the camera, it's a little harder to see. It is at 1,500 stitches at 0.78%. My goal for this year is to get it to 5%. And the reason it's so much less than Geisha or Lady is because this is technically a project for me, and the other 2 are for my sisters. So I want to get a move on with theirs more so than mine, because all these other projects are mine anyway, so, you know. Okay. The next project I have is another Flossy Fox Shop design. It is Night of the Frost Dragon Sal. This is a new start from last year in September, so you guys haven't seen it. So here we are. This is a current ongoing Sal. I just finished the January part over here with the cabin, where the little kitties are, and the kitties are the only change that I've made so far on this pattern, where I added Des and Mochi in. There was just one little already like black kitty there, so I just edited that one to look like Des, and then I added a second one to have Mochi in. But yeah, this is super cute. I'm loving every bit of it. That's the edge of the fabric. The next part will be in February, on the 9th or the 10th. But the current stitch count that I have it at is 11,058 stitches. My goal this year is to finish it. So, I've been pretty good about keeping up with this one. I did originally have it on like a 36 count linen that I was stitching over to, but then I kept messing it up. I kept miscounting. I kept just having to frog. But yeah, I just kept having to frog, and so I decided to just restart it. And so I played a lot of catch up for most of December and January, and there I am. Okay, so the next project I have is Otoño by, I think it's Satsuma Street. I'm like 90% certain it's Satsuma Street. This has had no progress on it, which is devastating because of how little it is. It's tiny. Here's where it's at. It is at 389 stitches at 4.68%. My goal this year is to get it done because it's so small. There's my hand. I don't have big hands. So, hopefully we can get this done. I'm gonna just start getting, there's like a 3x3 frame of it, so I'm gonna start by getting that done, so that way I can jump around to the other squares as needed with my colors. Okay, so the next project is another Gecko Rouge, another Medusa doll maker. It is Pride and Prejudice. Here is where it was the last time you guys saw it, and here it is now. So it looks a lot different. I still didn't do a ton of stitching on it, but you know, any stitching is better than, you know, zero stitching. So it is currently at 2,300 stitches done, and it looks like way more because it's on 18 count 2/1. It is at 5.01%, and my goal this year is to get it to 30% done, which basically means it's gonna be probably like what you see here, this area. Yeah, you can start seeing the word pride coming in here, and then I mean, maybe it just looks like it to me because I've been staring at the pattern for years, but a bit of the prejudice coming in here as well. And then if you looked at the preview, this is like the shoulder of Lizzie Bennett here. And then it'll come down to her arm. So yeah, fun times. The next project that I have is another Gecko Rouge, another Medusa doll maker. It is a limited edition that they had. It was the Princess Bride, and here it was the last time you guys saw it, and here it is now. I don't think I got zero work on it. I think it was mainly in here, these little motifs right there that I've stitched, but it is a bit of a pathetic amount of work on it, especially considering how much I love this project. I adore it. The Princess Bride is probably my favorite movie of all time, and so it kind of sucks that this has just been forgotten about. That said, it is at 10,561 stitches done, at 12.63% done, and my goal this year is to get it to 50% done, because something I love this much should not be sitting at 12%. So yeah, we're gonna make that a bit more of a focus this year. Okay, next we have another Gecko Rouge. Surprise, surprise. It is Princess Zelda by artist Candice McKay. Here's where it was the last time you guys saw it, and here it is now. As you can see, I've gotten a bit done. I've filled in a lot of the background here. I think it was probably like from here up, and then of course I started going everywhere. I started getting her face stitched in, so you can see her first eye, her nose. I think that's her bottom lip. She looks a little funky right now. She looks a little weird, a little creepy. But this year I'm gonna try and focus on getting more of her details stitched in, so that way she looks a little less scary. She is currently at 5,400 stitches done at 5%. My goal this year is to get her to 25% done. Yeah. This next project that I have is the other full coverage finish that I want to do this year. It's probably one that, I'm going to be honest, is not going to happen, but I'm going to do my darnest to make it so. If anything, to prove to myself that if I just spend a little time on things, I could get finishes every year. I could get a full coverage finish every year, you know? It is the current, it's one of the patterns from the current Hade sale going on. I chose Roses from Vincent van Gogh because he's one of my favorite artists, and I love all of his paintings, and this is one of my favorite paintings of his, actually. And so I'm working up on the top row that they have released right now. The far right on the 2 pages the 2 right pages that they released. And I currently have it at 6,312 stitches at 7%. My goal this year is to get it finished, or at the very least, I guess I should say finish is my stretch goal. My main goal is to get 6 whole pages done, just so that way I can get the freebies. But I would love if I could get the whole thing done. I think it'd be great. Plus, it would prove to me that these things that are smaller than this don't need to last more than a year. So, we'll see how that goes. The next project I have is a Gecko Rouge. It is, I think it was the Gecko Amour one year, but I can't remember which year it was. It is Sacred Heart from Anita Inverarity, and here's where it was the last time you guys saw it, and here it is now. So I got the outline of the bird done, and I started doing my little, I count every 10 stitches, and then I go down on the 10th stitch, so that way I can, you know, keep track of where I'm at a little easier. And then this is actually almost the bottom of the pattern. I think I only have like another 30 stitches down to go, but that's where my Q-snap cut off, so I'm gonna probably put it in a bigger Q-snap and just sort of do the whole outline of it. I'm still not sure exactly how I'm gonna work on this one after I get the outline done. You can see I started filling in like some of the black background, but I'm not sure if I wanna, what I'll probably end up doing is working the black background at the same time as I'm filling in the details, like the bird over here, and then on this side of, as it comes over, there's like some flowers and some greenery and stuff. So I think I'll get the black outline done everywhere, and then once that's done, I'll start doing like a strand or two of black fill in, and then filling in a color for the bird and the foliage. So it is currently at 1,299 stitches. The percent is 2.08, and my goal this year is to get it to 15%, because it stitches up really quickly, honestly. And while I am happy it got some progress this year, it needs more. They all need more. Everything needs more. Speaking of needing more, my next project is a Paintfree Crafts. It is Shinobu by Svetlana. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, so I won't bother, but it'll be on screen here. It hasn't changed since the last time you guys saw it, but I'll put it up there just because it wasn't a WIP parade. And here it is. Still. It is at 507 stitches at 0.64%, and because it's only at 500 stitches and still at 0.5%, my goal is to get it to 25% done this year. From what I have worked on it with it, to be fair, it's clearly not a lot, but Paintfree Crafts patterns just seem like fun to stitch. It's not like super confetti heavy, but there's good detail, and the patterns aren't like super huge, so you can get a lot done with less stitching, if that makes sense. And I've just thrown my needle minder. Oops. Where did you come from? Oh, you're gonna have to sit there for now. Okay. Okay. The next project I have is called Snow Days. It is a Dimensions kit, and it is from artist Shane Dimmick, I believe. Here's what it looked like the last time you guys saw it, and here it is now. I still have that back half of the wolf stitched, but the main progress was all in the face. So, as you can see, I got a lot of the face details done. I decided I really wanted to get the eyes to see how they come out, and so I did. I'm really happy with how it's looking, and it's got me really excited to work on this. It is currently at 2,800 stitches total done. It is 15.06% done. My goal for the year is to get it to 30% done, which makes me a little sad because it means I won't get a ton of work on it, but there's just some other things I want to focus on, but this will definitely be a focus for a finish in 2026, I think. And I did take the floss off of the dimension things and put them on my own thread cards, and yeah. Way easier to work with like that. They're already in links that I want to work in, so we're all set. Beautiful. The next project is another Gecko Rouge. It is Sunny from artist Leilani Joy. Here's what it looked like the last time you guys saw it. And here it is now. I've done a pretty decent amount of work. I've gotten this orange border a lot more filled in, and I've started going down towards the center of the pattern. This is the start of her helmet. This is some of, you can't really see it very well because it's light stitching on light fabric, but I've gotten some of her hair stitched in a little bit. So yeah, this is exciting. It's getting fun. I currently have her at 3,800 stitches at 5.04%, and my goal this year is to get her to 30% done. We'll see. I'm really hoping I can, because once I got started going on it like this, I was showing that to you sideways. This is what she looks like. I'm an idiot. Forgive me. Oops. There she is. Forgive me. I'm an idiot. But yeah, so I'm really excited. She's gonna be so pretty. The colors are just so much fun to work on because they're just so different from what I normally work on. So yeah, I'm so excited. It's a great time. We're almost done. I think I've just got 3 more left. Yes, 3 more. The next one I have is another Gecko Rouge. It is Tardis. The artist is J Parks. Here's what it looked like the last time you guys saw it. And here it is now. I'm at 1,500 stitches with 1.81%, and my goal this year is to get it to 25%. I think that one's a little ambitious. I'm not sure if I'll be able to manage it, but you know, I wrote it down, so that's it. That's the goal. We'll see. But yeah, that one's almost the complete opposite from Sunny. She's all like creams and yellows and oranges, and that one's all like blues and purples and grays. It's quite the dichotomy. The next one I have is a Heaven and Earth design. It is supersized max color Tate Goto from Haruo Morita. Yes, and here's what it looked like the last time you guys saw it. And here it is now. And to be fair, there is just a little bit right there, but you can still see it technically. So I've done a lot of work on this. It is one of my main focuses this year because it is a supersized max color, and I need to get onto it. If I don't, it'll never be done. And so this is sort of going to be like a side focus for me for the next few years. Hopefully only 4. I'm aiming for like a 2028 finish or something like that. But in order to do that, I'm gonna have to stitch on it like daily, like 350 stitches or something. But considering this fabric's tiny and it only takes me like 2 strands of floss to get that, it's pretty doable. She is currently at 10,339 stitches at 1.54% done, and my goal this year is to get her to 20%. So this may take a little bit longer than 4 years, but we'll see. Basically, I think the last time you saw it, I only had like this and a little bit of this filled in. I've gotten all of this and all of this down here, and I've gotten some light colors that are going into the moon now, so I can get started on that soon. Yeah, so I've realized that it's been fun doing like these colors that aren't quite blue, but come out in like these fun shapes, and I'm getting like a little tedious with these ones. So I'm going in and filling in like the fun colors first, so that way I can just whip out the heavy-handed ones. But yeah, I you can probably tell I still have some weird colored, there was a weird thing with the dye lot, or I guess the place it was stored before I bought it had like some issues with like sun bleaching it or whatever, but I'm this far in, I'm not changing it now. It is what it is. It's gonna stay that way. Okay, last one, guys. The very last WIP I have is another restart, and I talked about it a little bit in my last WIP parade. It is Watering Can Cats from Design Works. I don't know who the artist is, but if I do know, I'll have the information down here. This is what it looked like the last time you guys saw it, and this is what it looks like now. So I restarted it, ripped it all out, and then I digitized the pattern so that way I could have it in cross-stitch saga, I think is what I'm working with it. And then I took out the butterfly that's going to be up here because I didn't like it. I didn't think it was cute, so I'm not going to stitch it. And I got all of this restitched in. It is at 1,250 stitches at 15.61%. And it is going to be my last finish for the year. Maybe. I mean, it's my last WIP and therefore technically my last finish. So, you know. But yeah. So I have about, I think it was 10 projects I decided I wanted to finish this year. And then I have, it's going to be a lot of stitches. Everything combined is going to be a ton of stitches, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm having a lot of fun already this year. I'm just looking at my notes here because I wrote down, I said because it's January 26th when I'm filming this. And so far I have done 20,894 stitches this year. And 5,000 of them have been on roses, 6,000 on Tate Goto, 5,000 on the Night of the Frost Dragon Sal, 2,300 on Banjo Kazooie, and then 1,600 on Farming Magic Sal. So it's been pretty varied. I like having my two main focuses of roses and Tate Goto. You know, it only takes me like an hour and a half of stitching to get them done to their goal for the day, and then I get, you know, whatever leftover time I want to spend my day on stitching any random side project that I want to get goals on. And so I'm just pulling out things that have like big stitch goals or that like I've been dying to stitch on and it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. This was obnoxiously long, but you know, I had 35 whips, so I don't think it was too bad. Oh yeah, I'm only at 35 whips right now, which considering the last whip rate I had, I was like in the 40s. I think it's a plus. Though I am dying to start new things. I really want to start a new Gecko Rouge. I'm in this chat with Jess and a few of her other friends who are also doing a bunch of Gecko Rouges. So I'm really dying to start a new one. We'll see if I will or not though. I really want to though. And then in February, there's a few people on Flosstube that are starting a Sal for Margaret Morales. She's by far one of my favorite artists. I've been following her for years, and she just randomly out of the blue started getting her designs done through Heaven and Earth Designs, and I lost my mind. I was so excited. I have a bunch of her patterns already. I have way more I want to buy. I have one or two kitted up, and so there are some Flosstubers and people on Instagram that are starting a Sal for her designs next month in February, and I'm just sitting here like, I shouldn't, but I really want to start one. So I might end up starting a couple of things. And then I've been getting a lot of patterns lately from Thread Geeks and Unconventional Cross Stitch and Unconventional X Stitch and Cross Stitch Studio. And I've never started any of their patterns yet, so I'm like, well, it only seems fair to start a couple of their patterns. So I'll see about kitting up some things in the next couple of weeks. I think I'll start a Gecko Rouge. I think I'll start the Margaret Morales because I have June Blooms that I've had kitted up for 2 years now and I haven't started, so it's there, might as well. So yeah, maybe I'll do that, but I think it would be only fair if I'm starting from designers that I already have a ton of other from, that I start a couple from places that I haven't started any from. Like I have a Charting Creations kit that I've had for years now and I haven't opened it. I've opened it, I've looked at it, felt it, you know, but I haven't started it. And so it seems only fair that I start one of those as well if I'm gonna start those, but then it's gonna send me back up into the 40s, so maybe I'll be good and I'll finish some of my smaller pieces that I have marked for a finish and get them out of the way and technically out of the WIP count, so that way I can you know, keep myself in the 30s. I would like to keep myself in the 30s, but I also know I have a ton of full coverage that I just want to do. So we'll see how realistically that stays. But yeah, so thank you for being here with me. I hope you guys had a good time. Be sure to check out Jess in the description, and hopefully, I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.